Welcome to day 2 for our week of Webisodes with more fall goodies. And today we're focusing on some brand new templates.
Some great brand new templates. One of them is a Christmas gatefold, mini gatefold card template with a matching mini envelope template and my new windows and doors templates, which I can't wait to show you.
So does that sound interesting to you? We've got lots of fun things. Come play with us. Ta-da! Here they are.
Yay.
Yes. Now, as you said, we have 3. Now, you have seen this one before if you watch the Webisodes.
Right.
So, just we're bringing it back because it matched not only the mini gatefold, but the new
Christmas mini gatefold, and we're going to start with that.
Yeah.
So,
So let's
move
do
this
that.
one away.
Okay. So we have the 2 of them. This is to create an envelope that will match these 4-inch square.
And we did a recent webisode on the mini gatefold card template, and you'll see more about the mini envelope on there. But here is the new Christmas mini gatefold cards because they're just so cute. You want more of them.
Well, absolutely. And you want to have a Christmas version. There are 5 designs on this sheet. So you can see the snowflake, the gingerbread, well, you see half of him. And there's an ornament, a tree, and candy canes.
Candy canes.
So
lots of fun. And it always comes with ways it shows you how you can use them as a regular gatefold, just like that, or you can stack pieces on top of each other like this to see even more, because we've got all of these extra elements. And let's look at what that looks like.
Well, before you move that away, well, hold that close, okay? Because I want to bring the first one in.
All right.
And here is that darling little gingerbread man.
Just adorable.
And this was done a little differently. And so I'm going to open it up so you can see he's on the front. And then as I do this, you can see the gatefold. Well, you can see the gatefold there. And Merry Christmas on the inside. Now, what I wanted to point out is that the little gingerbread man is done in 2 pieces. There's one on the front and one on the other side. But then there's also another sized here, on the template, that you can create this piece to go on top. So you're going to walk us through the construction, right?
I actually have that very thing that will show you. So when you use the template, like all of our templates, you're going to trace through the template onto paper. In this case, onto craft paper. And you're going to cut 3 pieces, the basic pieces for each card.
So this is the square that you'll see, and it's right there on the template.
So that is the card base.
Right.
And then this is the panel. This one happens to be the Gingerbread Man Panel. You will cut 2 of these. You'll trace from the template and then cut 2.
Let's put, go ahead and put it
one
down.
like this, and actually you can cut them both the same, but one is going to go the opposite direction. And they're actually going to go like this around your card. So I've got that base here, and I've got these 2 pieces, which I've traced and cut out. And each of them have this tab on the edge, or they call it something else, I can't remember. Is that right? This tab. Okay, it's the attachment tab.
Right.
And you're going to go ahead and from the angled piece you see here, an angle here and there, that shows you the point where you're going to score right along there, top to bottom, and then you will fold, and this will get attached to the back of your card base. So we're going to set that right on there. I've got Ultra Tape on here.
And Ultra Tape comes like this. It has this orange liner. It is super, 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 super adhesive. And it comes on a roll like so. We use it primarily whenever we have a card that is interactive, any card that's going to move.
You really don't want these pieces to move after you glue them in place.
No, you don't.
To stay there. And so you've got that folded. I've got the Ultra Tape right next to the fold line. And then I place the base right on top of it, right next to the fold. And so the Ultra Tape is on the back. And then I just sort of press that in place, and now you see that it's like that on the back. If you don't want this to show on the back, you can glue this piece to the front right here and then cover this with paper.
Sure.
You won't see the attachment.
Sure.
But I think it's fine on the back. I don't think it's too distracting.
You know, I used to worry about that a little bit, and then I went and saw some Hallmark cards. They do the same thing.
Do they?
Yeah, they do.
On the back.
And I thought, okay, good enough.
Well, if Hallmark will do it, we can do it.
Of course, I think our cards are better, but never mind.
So now we have both of these pieces. Yeah. So you see, when it comes together in the center for that gatefold, there's that gingerbread man on the front. Now, see, you can leave it like this. You can decorate it just like this, or you can use that extra piece, cut it out. In this case, I cut it out of suede, which I think is just perfect. It looks like a little gingerbread guy.
It does.
And then when you glue it on, you don't want to glue it to both sides, because if you do, he will be stuck and you won't be able to open it.
You will not have a gatefold.
Just glue or tape to the left side and then open up and decorate him any way you like. I would do that before I glued it on there.
Yeah, and let's look at how this one was decorated, because this is very fun. We'll get a little bit closer. And you can see that the stripe paper makes a perfect little vest, just so well done. Now here, that icing has been done with liquid pearls, and this is the white opal, as you can see.
So isn't that wonderful?
So just going right along the edge. And
and around the edge, you can. He was inked a little bit, and his
he's a little
face,
toasty,
isn't he? A little bit. By the way, that vest is a pattern that is on the template, so you can cut the vest, you can cut this little bow tie. They're all traced and cut out from the template.
Wonderful.
And then his face is just drawn on, a cute little face that's just very simply drawn on, and added a little bit of chalk for those rosy cheeks.
And a jewel dazzle for the nose, and more of the liquid pearls you can see for cheek highlights and for his eyes.
So that's just adorable. That's really a sweet look.
And as I said, you've got the
you've got the jewel dazzles, you've got the jewel border dazzles,
and then inside, Merry Christmas.
And this is from our new 3-pack of Christmas greetings dazzles.
I think I have that to show it to you with another project.
So I'm pretty sure that these are the new papers, the new Winter's Garden papers.
Yeah, I think you're right.
So you're going to be seeing that a couple of times with these great Christmas cards. Right.
Yes, if this is capturing your attention, I want you to know that it has captured ours. And we do have it in many of the ribbon combinations that go with the paper packs. But for, especially, well, I was going to say for this season, but really for any season, we have a special pack of this velvet glitter ribbon, and notice it's not rubbing off.
Right.
And so it's 36 inches each of 10 different colors.
10 different great colors. They are not just for Christmas. They are glittery, and they match all sorts of situations. There's purples and greens.
Now we happen to have another gingerbread.
We do.
So here's another version out of red.
Right. What I liked about showing this was the way the dazzles were used. So primarily we're looking at the dazzles that were used to decorate that little gingerbread man.
Right.
Those are border dazzles.
Oh, I'm glad you brought them. Okay.
So here are the white border dazzles. And this is so cute. So for his little arms there, you've got these little dazzles right here. And I just find it easy to pick up with my retractable pen knife here. So you pick those up, and you can just cut a little piece off, just like so. And you just lay that across. So that was what was laid on his little arms and his little legs. And this is my favorite part. His mouth was one of these little, scallops. And so you just cut it, just like that. And then you just got
cut it on the sheet,
right?
Just like
just a little happy mouth.
Easy, and the diamond eyes.
The diamond eyes come from the center right here. So ingenious.
Very, very, very good. The other dazzles you were talking about on the edge there are the red jewel border dazzles. So they have a gold edge, as you can tell. Also, what was used here are some of the red heart dazzles.
Right.
And this has, like the jewel dazzles, it has several different sizes.
So just 2 different ways to create a cute little card. And the great thing about the template is being able to use it on any color cardstock.
Exactly.
This one was done on craft paper. That one was done on red cardstock.
And it doesn't yet have a center. One thing I wanted to tell you, and we said this when we did the other cutting die, let me just open one of those, is that we could have done this as one piece like that.
If we had made the template that way, we could have done it.
We decided, I mean, we really thought about this in that what's going to be the best value for the customers. We could have only gotten 2 of them, and we really elected not to do that. So by giving you the base and then all of these with the flaps, we are able to give you 5 patterns on one. Now, I know this is only $6.99.
But that's a great bang for your buck. And with all of those different cards, Christmas cards that you can make, very interactive and cute Christmas cards, simple to make, and lots of fun.
And they can be different than Christmas. This is I'm Nuts About You.
That is so sweet.
Isn't that cute?
It's from the same template. It's got the tree on there. It could have been a Christmas tree, but in this case.
And this is for Father's Day
or
wonderful. A dad's birthday.
And this is used with the Serenity paper pack. So, and it's got this great wood grain paper on there.
Now, this is also with Nuts About Squirrels.
Dazzles.
Dazzles.
Great. So it has the I'm Nuts About You, and I love that the dazzles are actually back with some of the mirror sheets that we were showing you just the other day.
And this has, this again, as I said yesterday,
this it has 8, does it have 10 different finishes? They are self-adhesive, and this one you can see that copper, that great copper that's lining the back of that one.
And it's got 10 other colors, and they're all mirror, and we'll be having a webisode on those, just like we said yesterday. Same story today.
So use them for more than one thing. They can be Christmas, they can be just about anything. And I love that they're self-adhesive, because then when you're done with cutting it out, you can just stick it on there.
And clever that the border works so well, because the border's 9 inches, but we've got 2 4-inch pieces, so it's going to work.
So super cute. I'm Nuts About You. This one happens to be for Dad, and for this one, Debbie took the Friends and Family Dazzles. She took a Spectrum Noir pen and colored it brown to match those, which you can do in any case.
Okay,
so
good
wonderful.
Job. Now,
very fun.
This one has a coordinating envelope, also out of that wood grain, out of the Serenity. And this is the template. You can tell it's a smaller template because it's a smaller size. And you are simply going to cut out the paper. Whoops, this is
just a little code on there that we use in-house.
Beautiful way, as we said in the other webisode, to use the double-sided paper. So that's a fun.
Very simple. So that's one sheet of paper that has, it's double-sided, so you don't have to line the inside. And it's got the labels on there. So a great use of the mini envelope that matches that card.
And what you're going to do simply is to place this on the cardstock, whatever color you want, or whatever, actually on the paper.
Trace it around the outer edges, trace the score lines, and then you just fold your pieces. And the way Paulette said to fold those is wings in, top down, bottom up.
No, wings in, bottom up, top down.
I did it wrong.
Wings in, bottom up, top down.
Which makes perfect sense. The way I would do it, it would be wrong.
Wings in, bottoms up. And then these 2 shapes you can use on your envelope. So you have this beautiful decorative edge, as you can see right there. And this oval was done using this one. So, and you can layer them, you can do all sorts of things.
And they fit the mini Gatefold cards just perfectly.
They do.
Those are 4-inch by 4-inch cards. This is actually a little bit bigger, so you can fit just a tiny bit.
It's going to make a generous envelope. That way, if you decide to tuck in a gift card or something else, you are not struggling at all. And we also had to make this so it would meet the minimum standard for the U.S. Postal Office, because you can't do really teeny tiny things.
Well, that's good to know. You can actually mail it even that size, no problem.
Work great. So you can make them to coordinate, beautifully done.
So you can make Christmas mini Gatefold cards, or you can use it for other uses.
Now here is the Snowflake.
Oh, that's another great one.
This is
also the Gatefold, the same as the others.
This is using the silver ripple. And let me show you. This again has the piece on top glued to the left.
It's actually foam taped on this time.
Oh, it is. And then inside that one again.
And this is on the Winter's Garden paper pack. And you've got those large greetings. So you're seeing the red greeting on the front and the gold pearl. They come from the same set. It's a 3-pack.
Yeah, and here is the Christmas greetings dazzles. So in the red, in the pearl, in the black, as you said. and beautiful.
But there's something, oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, what's going on with this?
Yeah,
This
there's a little extra treatment on there. It's a little bit snowy.
It's a little bit snowy, and it is something new to us. It is Creative Cream. And this is a honkin' jar, which is really actually nice, and it's going to give this dimension.
And it's full of this creamy paste that's like
somebody's
snow.
been playing over there.
We've been using it a lot. It's great for Christmas. It's great for snow on paper like this. And it actually sticks to porous and non-porous surfaces. You can use this on glass. In fact, the manufacturer says that you can use this through stencils on windows, and then it will wash off. It's water soluble. So that's a great use.
Interesting.
Now, we like using it for paper crafting. I've got one of our little
palette knives?
Yeah, palette knives here that's just easy to apply. Just get a little bit of it out there and just dab it on the edges of your snowflake.
It's like frosting,
just like
isn't
that.
it?
It is. And then it'll dry. It doesn't take too long to dry, and you'll have a cute little frosty snowflake. It was done on the silver ripple paper, but you can use it on just about anything. It's really sweet.
Very neat. So here is a close-up of it. Let me show you some dimension there.
One of the ways that it was used that I remember, Susan used this. She stamped the Home for the Holidays stamps on a card, and then she added just a little bit of snow with a toothpick to the tops of the houses, to the snowman, to the trees.
Let's bring that stencil in because I want to point out, now that you've said the idea about putting it on glass, here's your snowflake, folks.
There you go.
And you can put that, just tape it up onto a window.
Or whatever, any non-porous surface.
And just spread it.
Spread it just like embossing paste on there, and you've got it on your glass.
How fun.
So fun.
How fun.
Super fun.
Okay, well, this ends what we have on our Christmas mini Gatefold cards and the envelope to match. Now we are going into Gail's Windows and Doors template. Gail has a background as an engineering technician. You may not have known that about her, but
so
it really comes
straight to lines and angles for me.
Things work well. Okay.
I try to use both sides of my brain though, and this one I just thought it would be nice to have something like a window on a card, which we do it a lot, but I really wanted to see the detail of the architecture of that window.
And you wanted to have lots of options. So as we're looking at this,
go ahead. We have a large window here. We also have a door, and we call this one the farmhouse door. And you can trace around it, cut it out, but you can also cut this line here so that you can open the door. And it's the same with the window. There is a window cutout that you can use behind that window. We have window boxes, or you can turn them over and use them as window shades. We have a window arch or a door arch. We have French doors that will split down the middle if you want to open them this way. And they have a quad door, so different looks for those doors.
And wait, there's a curtain right there too.
And there's a curtain, which you'll see in one of our projects here. A little picture here shows you how you might use those doors.
Well, we'll start with probably the simplest, which is to create a window on your card. But now you have a top for that window, so you can really finish it off beautifully.
So use the template to cut the hole in your door, and then use the template again to cut this window frame out of a different colored paper and just glue it on top of there. There's also a window box that has been cut and placed down below.
And this is using the winter garden, and the die cuts are kind of going over the top and on the bottom of the window. And then inside, this is more of the winter garden. And I think this is a great use, just kind of as a side note, of this border, this corner treatment, to have that on the inside of the card and to see those swirls peeking through the window.
That's
just
great.
Beautiful.
That's kind of the fun of the windows and the doors, is that you can see something. It's like, ooh, a little peek into what's going on inside.
Yeah, so very, very fun. Now I'm going to bring this one, and this is the one where Gail was talking about. We're showing it so you can open that window. Look at that. So we've foam taped the pieces together. And
this is
got
a really
little demo
fun,
here.
Yeah, this is a
Okay.
really fun piece, and what I love about this is that you're getting a glimpse into a new product that we're carrying called Distress Stain. This is a Tim Holtz product, and there are lots of different colors. And so, if we can bring the card back, just we're seeing several of them. We're seeing the brown for the door frame. We're seeing red for the door, and we're seeing white for the edges. It really gives it sort of a vintage, kind of a whitewash look.
And we usually think of browns or blacks for distressing, but doing it out of the white's a whole different look.
And then you've got the inside, which is more distress stain in different colors. And I'm going to show you step by step some of the different elements that caused this to happen.
Okay.
This project.
Besides you.
So I've got white cardstock, and I found that the stain really kind of shows up great on cardstock. It's really simple to do. What I have here is fired brick, and then I've got my cardstock.
It has a dauber on the top?
Yeah, it has a dauber on the top. It's kind of a sponge dauber. You can do this to sort of activate, make sure it's working. If you need a little more, you can squeeze the bottle a little bit. And I just use that to stain my cardstock. And I'm sort of squeezing it as I go along to make sure that it's getting a nice coat. And it really is just as simple as that. I just made sure that the cardstock was as big as that door is going to be when I'm done. And that's it. And then you let it dry.
You know, if you had done that with watercolor or anything water activated, it would be bowed. Now it would dry, but this isn't too much.
It is a little bit, but you know, it just sort of, it makes its shape again. It flattens out again, no problem.
And you're not worried about those streaks because you're going to incorporate that.
I am going to use that. And I went ahead and did it on brown. So you see the brown here that was done. It's dry. And the next thing that I did, the brown was the walnut stain.
Okay.
And then I got out my template, and I used the template to trace onto the brown.
Right.
So in this case, I used the farmhouse door, and I just thought it was easier to turn it over and do it on the back.
Smart idea.
And the door, I don't really have to turn the template over because it's the same both ways. And so you place it on there, you trace, and I traced all around the outer edges. All around the outer edges of it's got all those nice cut work lines so that you can go all the way around the outside. I also traced on the inside here, and I traced the doorway. So when I was done tracing that entire door, I had a piece that was, once I turned this over, I had a piece that I could cut out, and it ends up looking like that.
Right.
So that is traced.
So that's kind of your base.
And cut out. Yeah, this was base. Here, I'm going to get something so you can see it a little easier.
There you go.
So this is the entire piece. I cut all around the outside. On the traced line that is the cutout, I cut 3 lines. 1, 2, 3.
So you can open it.
So that I can open it. And I scored from the top to the bottom on the left side. And there are lines on the template that show you where to do that. So you'll be able to just fold this back, and that will be your door. Okay, now we had a red door.
Yes.
So I used the red piece that I stained, and I cut out the door only, and I foam taped it. You could also just glue it on, but I foam taped it.
I like that dimension.
Right, right on top of there. So now you have a separate door that is a different color. I did want it to be that little bit of just that stained look. I will mention, which is in the gallery, I also used some of the distress inks that match the colors of those stains perfectly, and I sort of went around the edges to distress that a little bit, just to add a little bit more shadow. And then I went in with the white distress
Now you
stain.
are shaking that up each time.
Every time I use it, I shake it up a little bit, and then you just, this is the fun part to me, you just add a little bit,
and you're doing that before you attach it.
Right.
Yeah.
Just a little bit on the edges, or you can just sort of pat it around there and get a little bit of an old farmhouse look.
This is something that it's pretty hard to see the effect of it while you're doing it that, because you're just swiping it, and it just seems not enough to do.
Okay.
But it's just a swipe, so you don't need to do any more than that, and when you're done, the total effect is just lovely.
Right. And then once that's placed on here, I had the card already made, and I used the outline, which is on the template, for that cutout to cut out the front of the card only. So now I'll have some place to glue the door, and I'll glue the door. Well, once that red door is on there, this will be around the edges, and then when it opens up, the whole thing opens up, and that front door will open up also. Okay, so that's the front.
Shall I just show the front
Yeah,
again?
let's do that.
There you go. So you can see the door. She did go back and add some copper border dazzles at the top
Right.
and the bottom.
And a copper nail
And
head.
a copper nail head for the little door handle.
You
Very
can also
clever.
just use a hole punch and punch out something with a hole punch just to get a quarter-inch hole punch.
Or a jewel dazzle. But I also see that you've got the little poinsettias. So it
Right.
looks like you've touched those with your white
with the
distress
white
stain.
picket fence,
Yeah.
distress stain. And the last thing I did was for the inside. I did stamp on there with the Home
bring
for the
it in?
Holidays
Oh, okay.
stamp set. But first I prepared that cardstock, and that's more distress stain just because it was fun and I wanted to see what else I could do with it.
Did you hear that, people? Just because it was fun. That's why you did it.
And so I'm completely saturating
You certainly are.
this piece of cardstock with water. I really want it nice and puddly.
Using the spritzer.
And I've got the distress stain. I put yellow right in the center, and you see it sort of, if you've got enough water, it just sort of blends all over everywhere. And I just sort of put it in the
Okay.
center, and then I add,
So
that
the stains
was
are
mustard
water-based.
seed, yes. And I might even add a little bit more water around the edges. And I just sort of pounce the blue around the edges. You can add it and sort of pounce it. And when it mixes in with that yellow, it makes a nice green. And a little bit more water helps to really get it to blend. So that was fun. That was how I did the background.
Really? Look at that. So you can see the yellow in the center, the green, where the blue on the edges has mixed with the
Just
yellow.
sort of blend
Very
in
fun.
there. And I did go way on the edges and use the distress ink again because they match those stains so well. So this just goes perfectly with it and
So that's
just
a little
edged
one.
it.
Okay.
So
more
that
of the
was sort of a
copper.
labor of love, but it's for a special person, that special
fun.
card.
That's just beautiful. And what a very different Christmas card.
I think it's pretty special. That was the first time I got to use my new template, so I had to do something special. That was
very,
so fun.
very nice. Now, scrapbookers, look how you can use this.
at that.
And I think this is just so much fun. I would call this creating a scene.
Sure.
And look how you have taken that same piece, done it out of red. It has a little bit of inking on the edges. And we've got the Winter's Garden die cuts, that happy little snowman peeking from behind. We've got the big swag in
Right.
front. And what looks like we've got more of the distress cream, or the creative cream.
just sort of placed on there with your little
Palette knife, yeah.
knife. You can just put that on there, build it up a little bit. And also using the lines from the template, you can draw right through the lines instead of cutting this out. Use that to create lines with an ink pen to get all the definition on that
Very
door.
fun.
Very
And
sweet. I love
just
that
to bring
look.
the rest of the family into it. I love how this is all encircling that large photo.
Right.
And we've got Christmas dazzles right up there.
It's
just
a great
saying
use
Christmas.
of those die cuts. A little bit of
Yeah.
stickles right on top of the
Very
die
fun.
cuts too. So that's really fun.
And unless you think this is only for Christmas, you would want to see this little beauty. And this is done with the center step cards.
Well, sure, because windows and doors are all year round.
Yes, they are. And this is just quite stunning. Now, we are seeing the window, we're seeing the top piece,
Right.
and we're seeing the window box.
Right, so you've got the window box, you've got the window shade up at the top, and they are, if I turn it sideways, you'll be able to see they're sort of at an angle. And I'm going to show you how I did that, but let's see, peeking out of that flower box.
There are the
baby,
let's
not
see, they're
baby's
babies.
breath.
This is the Queen Anne's lace.
Queen
Sorry.
Anne's lace, there you go.
They came out together, and
I love
so
these
Queen
because
Anne's
they've
lace.
got a little bit of like powdered texture on there, so they really look
Yes.
kind of interesting. I
And
love those little
beautiful in there.
grass.
Plus, it's got the
Yeah.
very
Right.
nice.
You're also seeing the clear glitter sheets, which
Yes.
we've been having a lot of fun with.
And so have you, because we keep selling out of them. What I love is that you're getting 5 sheets, And these are self-adhesive, so they're clear,
Right.
and you are able to do these wonderful looks. Now,
Right.
you can really see where Gail has used them because these areas are backed on white.
Right.
But look over here.
Right, on the edge too. And that's
Wow.
just simply a matter of cutting a strip of the clear glitter sheet and then cutting just a little wavy line, pulling that strip off and using it as a border right there on your paper. I do want to show the bottom very quickly. If you trace from your template, if you trace two of the window boxes, one on the paper and one on the clear glitter sheet, and I turned this one over and traced with a permanent pen because it's the easiest way to draw on there. Then you just cut them. These are the same size, and I'm going to do it the way Paulette taught me, and then remove, if I can, there we go.
Yeah.
Almost had it. The clear glitter sheet. So now I've got this piece. I removed the backing, and you can see it's sort of translucent. You can see through it. And instead of completely covering that piece, I went down just a little bit, went just a little lower, so that I could see the paper and then a border piece at the bottom. And then I just take my scissors and cut off right where it meets the paper there.
Right.
So that way you just have this.
It is the
along
easiest
bottom.
way on the planet to add glitter.
Right.
Just-
And now you have a glitterified little flower box
A
there.
glitterfied,
Just down there on the bottom with that nice edge shape.
And
I
speaking
really
of
like that.
glitterified, we also are seeing for the first time the window curtains.
Right.
And so you can see them peeking through that absolutely charming window.
Which is really, it's great on that center step, and all you have to do is place your paper on the front of the center step. You want to open it up flat. You want to trace the window cutout right there, then
Which
cut
is on the
through.
template.
Right, it's on the
Okay.
template. You cut through, and then as you look at the card, you'll trace and cut out the window frame, which will
Right.
set on top of there. Real
So,
simple to
got all of
cut
that.
those curtains from the glitter sheet and place behind there.
And the Zen Dragonfly Dazzles were used to have the dragonflies around, the
Right.
lift your spirit right there.
And it was kind of
Curlicues.
curlicues, and it was kind of fun to make the words go around the curtains
Yeah.
like that. I did
And you
say
even
that I
used
was
the border
right,
up there.
yeah.
Nice, nice, nice.
I did say that I was going to show you how I popped up because they're sitting at an angle. So what I did is I took some foam tape and I made them double layer, and a real easy way to do that is to cut two pieces like
Gail
this.
just has these on some wax paper.
Yeah, sitting on wax paper. I'm going to remove the cover from one of those, stick the other one on top. So now I've got a double thick layer. And then I put a little bit of the double stick foam tape on the top edge, and then I'll just put a few dots on the bottom, and then when you stick them on, they'll be at an angle. So they're a little higher on one side than it is at the other. So now you've got an angled box, and I just thought that was kind of a fun thing to do.
Makes it another nice, I absolutely love the glitter on there.
Okay.
But just, again, a charming, charming piece. And so you've got it for holidays, you've got it for every day,
Right.
and that's really the versatility of having the
Right.
templates.
So those are our
yes.
templates. We have the windows and doors.
And we have the Christmas mini gatefold,
gatefold.
along with the envelope.
Right,
And
so lots of fun ways to use those.
And we will have more tomorrow, so we'll be seeing you on Wednesday.
See you then.